Hi there, everybody. I'm Mairead Smialek, and today I'm here with Nigel Bogart with 5 Star Claims Adjustment, and we're talking about what happens when you have a hurricane or catastrophe on your house, and you need to watch this video because it is so essential. It can save you money and time and so many other things. So let's first talk about what's a public adjuster. What happens, right?
Yeah, so a public adjuster ultimately holds a license just like the insurance company adjusters do. Our license is very different though because we don't represent the insurance company. We only represent the residential or commercial property owner when they have a claim against the insurance company. So our license is really dedicated to try to level the playing field and do the work so the homeowner or the commercial property owner doesn't have to.
Yeah. And, when and why should people call an adjuster? Like, what happens in a property that typically prompts that phone call?
I'm biased, right? I want everybody to call every single time, but I think
as they should.
I think so. I think it's probably best for somebody to call in the very beginning. Because of all the exclusions and endorsements that are in these insurance policies nowadays, does it even make sense to file a claim? Could there be times where the deductible or the exclusions or the endorsements maybe don't make sense to file a claim and you don't want that red mark on your file when you try to go get another policy? But I think people make mistakes in the beginning of a claim, so I think having us come in the very beginning when you think you have damage, know you have damage, let us look at the policy, let us look at the damage, we thermal camera, moisture meter, and basically dive deep. And then from there we can kind of control what we present to the insurance company, and we're writing the estimate. So we're telling the insurance company what they owe as opposed to letting the insurance company say this is what we think we owe.
Right. And people are so tired and defenseless because they've been through a traumatic event that sometimes they don't have what it takes to get across the finish line with an insurance company. And that alone, we're not going to have any more hurricanes this year, but last year we got hit really hard, right? We saw some catastrophic things happen. I'm tired of listing properties that have been torn down or had to be torn down, but I saw you present, and you've saved people a lot of money just by getting involved. Do you want to speak a little bit about that?
Sure. And that kind of goes back to your other question. Having us from the very beginning can expedite this entire process. OPAGA did a report, which is the state, back in 2010, and ultimately they did, I think it was about 50,000 different claims. And unbeknownst to them, I don't know if they were looking for the information to come back not in our favor, but what it said was if you had a public adjuster in a hurricane event, you got 747% more with the public adjuster, and then a water claim or fire claim, something that's not as, if you will, catastrophic as a hurricane, it was like 500% or more. And so I believe that to be true based on our numbers as a company when we recover and help people. But I think specifically, there was somebody in, Caldwell Banker who went through the hurricane, and I think they offered them a couple of $1,000s over their $15,000 deductible, and I was able to recover like another $83,000. It took 3 or 4 months, but it was, I think, worth the wait.
That's life altering. It's life altering.
It really is.
Yeah.
It changes lives, and that's what it's all about for us. It's not a money cash grab. It's how do we help the client? If the client wins, then everybody wins.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I feel about my business. Like, how do we help them? How do we serve them? And then the business comes back because you're doing right by them.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your fees, because I didn't know that there was a special fee during. Did I have that right? When it's a hurricane,
you do.
Okay, it's a named storm.
Yep.
Then what happens?
Yeah, if it's a catastrophic event, meaning that the governor has issued a state of emergency, then every public adjuster's fee on a residential property is capped at 10% for the first 12 months. After that, it goes up to 20%, and generally speaking, in a hurricane, you only have 1 year. That is it. And I want to make sure that I'm really
Look
clear.
At that camera.
That in the state of Florida, you used to have 5 years and 3 years and 2 years. You have 1 year to file a new claim or reopen that claim. You can supplement a claim, but only for an additional 6 months, up to 18 months. So if somebody hasn't inspected their property from that storm event by this time, now is the time to at least have it inspected, especially before and if there's ever another storm.
So that's a good segue into what are the mistakes you see that homeowners do when something happens.
I think a lot of people are penny wise and pound foolish. They try to handle it all their own. The insurance policies are about 70 pages. It's a contract between you and the insurance company.
Yeah.
So
and nobody reads it.
No.
Until
you shop out a price.
Yep.
Or in desperation of what policy is even available to me, and that's the downfall. People will take the lower price and they'll get a credit for $100 on their policy, and now they've only got $10,000 in coverage for a water claim. And nobody recognizes until we actually have a loss. So I think very important when people file claims, which is why I like to be in from the very beginning, that call they make to the insurance company to file that claim is called the first notice of loss. And that follows the claim from beginning all the way to the finish line.
And I'm sure it's recorded.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
So whatever you say on that, which you got chatty Cathys, you got people that are just don't really know what they're talking about. They say too much. And they'll try to use that against you throughout the claim process or ask additional questions as follow-ups. And you can really just start the claim off wrong at that point.
Speaking of which, and I'm not going to hold you to this, but if you were shopping for insurance right now, what do you think is the most, what's the most buyer-friendly insurance carrier out there in Florida that you'd be using? And I know it changes.
I'm going to speak for me personally.
Okay, I know it changes.
So I have Progressive on my primary residence. It's a little bit more expensive, but they have some dispute resolution opportunities where if I ever got into a battle with them, I know today under that current policy, I have some opportunities to not circumvent the desk adjuster or field adjuster, but to handle that dispute potentially without ever having to go to litigation. And that's what it's all about. We don't purposely sign files to flip them to an attorney. It's to work it, try to get the money and set the stage for the homeowner. But I would think, Frontline is okay. They've got some endorsements in their policies for matching, which is not spectacular.
Can people call you if they're thinking about
absolutely. Yeah, I can look at
I might call you and say, what's my insurance
We are
look like?
more than happy. Okay. If you're about to shop insurance, obviously I'm not an agent, so I can't sell or kind of give. I can 100% I can look at it from a if this was my policy and I'm going to file a claim, or this is what I'm experiencing with these carriers or what our company is experiencing, because we've got 85 adjusters.
Wow.
So we're all seeing I don't know, 500-600 policies a month that we're looking at. So to say, hey, this is what's happening with this in particular carrier, and this is what I know is in their policy. This is what you could run into if you have a claim, for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So in terms of prepping your house, should we be recording our contents? Should we be doing anything? So if we have a catastrophic loss, that we have something prepared. And I don't know, I'm asking a question, I don't even know if there's an answer to it.
Yeah, you got a lot of realtors use Matterport. Okay. We use a 3D camera as well when we sketch a property. So I would think some sort of video would be a great way. Zoom in, zoom out, talk through it, specifically for contents more than anything. Obviously, hurricanes are bad. Fires are almost worse, in my opinion, sometimes, because a lot of times on a hurricane, you have a roof and screen enclosure and a window.
Right, and you can actually see what was left. On a fire, there's nothing.
Correct. I mean, what's smoke, what's soot, and trying to go through those contents on a fire claim are really tough with the insurance company. So I would say video would be amazing. Probably once a year, you do that and have that in your pipeline, just in case they're like, oh no, this was from before, and it's like, no, see here. But
well, this has been really informative. Thank you
Appreciate it.
So much. You can find Nigel's contact details below. Feel free to reach out to him about any questions, and we'll see you on the next one.